Thank you, Madam Chairwoman. So, on the 1st of July 2014, the Commission adopted the EU Action Plan on Enforcement of Intellectual Property, known as formerly the Action Plan, and the plan focuses on the fight against commercial scale intellectual property infringing activity, and it proposes enforcement policy tools seeking to deprive commercial scale infringers of their revenue flows. The plan is divided into 10 concrete actions. I have the pleasure of being the rapporteur for our opinion to the Jury Committee, where Mr Svoboda, who is actually chair of the committee in legal affairs, is the rapporteur for this own initiative report. The importance of IPR to the EU economy should not be underestimated, as key findings from a study carried out jointly by OHIM show that 39% of total economic activity in the European Union, that's worth €4.7 trillion annually, is generated by IPR intensive industries. €4.7 trillion, I repeat that. And that is why this is so important. 35% of all employment in the European Union is connected and directly and indirectly to IPR intensive industries. So IPR infringement affects a variety of sectors and cannot be pinned down to one particular product or industry. It affects sectors as diverse as electronic equipment to medical devices and medicines. It manifests itself in illegal copies of software, as well as counterfeit spare parts and transport vehicles, which can ultimately malfunction and cause harm to consumers or even have lethal consequences. This is why, in my opinion, I welcome the Commission Action Plan. I see the Commission over there, which aims to adopt the follow the money approach, where those who are the greatest offenders will suffer financial loss. I particularly welcome the involvement of Member States through consultation procedures, sharing best practice and information, as well as coordinating cross-border enforcement. I believe that the Member State Expert Group has been set up in order to advance the communication between Member States. I also look forward to receiving information on existing national initiatives addressing IP civil enforcement for SMEs by the end of 2015, as SMEs, as we all know, are the backbone of our economy. And I welcome the forthcoming Green Paper and the need for future Union action based on best practice found in nationally financed schemes assisting SMEs to enforce their IP rights. One other important aspect I wanted to highlight was the relationship between public procurement procedures and the respect for intellectual property emphasised in the Action Plan. Public authorities play a critical role through procurement and purchasing, and I commend the Commission's desire to develop and promote a guide on best practice for public establishments. I note, in my opinion, the importance of applying due diligence in supply chains and welcome the inclusive stakeholder consultation which is set out in the plan. The plan also promises to deliver a biennial report entitled IP in the EU economy. However, I believe it would be best if such a report were published annually, or at least that the European Parliament gets an annual update on the state of play. I also want to raise the importance of OHIM. I believe we should hear more about the work it does, as it directly relates to the work that we do in our committee. I know that there are several members from this House who are on the parliamentary liaison with OHIM. Virginie, I don't know if you're one of those people that's part of the OHIM parliamentary group. Is that right? Are you as well, Julie? Right. So I think most people come from the Legal Affairs Committee, if I'm not mistaken. And I think that perhaps one of the things, because OHIM relates a lot to our work as well, it may be that we should have somebody from this committee, and just in the way that we've been trying to cooperate through copyright with that working group, it would be very, very helpful. In fact, next week I'm actually going to visit OHIM, and that will be very, very interesting. But I think that the work that OHIM does, and the way, just like what Vicky was suggesting about the Copyright Working Group, it would be very helpful, even if it was once a year that OHIM came to our committee to present. I think they do that in the Jury Committee, but it would be very good if that could happen here. These are just some suggestions, and I think OHIM are very keen to help. So I think that what I would say is that there are a number of issues in my report. I very much welcome what the Commission have put forward. We've tried to put some, in our opinion, some helpful points relating to the work of this committee. So again, the deadline for amendments is tomorrow at noon, and the vote will be on the 26th of March. So thank you, Madam Chairwoman, and thank you to colleagues as well.